Alright. It looks like it's uploading. And it sounds like the mic's working fine. Awesome. So, if this is all going to continue to work, I'm going to continue now to just put these things on here as quick as I can. And like I was finishing up there, you know, don't go around and just complain. Put an end to it. Go up to the source. When you go up to the source, then tell them why you're upset. Because, you know, let me tell you, the one person that I'm speaking of, and eventually I'll end up sending these two videos to you, because I want you to really hear this, whether you listen to it or not. You know, you want to point the finger at things, but you also, the reason why I got upset, and it wasn't for what you thought. The truth is, I told you. I mean, I told you even on the voicemails. Yeah, they're kind of nasty because you lied to me. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. You lied to me 4 times and told me something that wasn't true was truth. Instead of talking to me man to man, you lied. And then you're going to turn around and talk smack, per se, as you say, like I'm not going to find out about it. Your life is so great. Where's God? Where's God? See, I care enough about you to pray for you. I care enough about you to give you the truth. Stop claiming something that you're not. Don't claim you're a millionaire when you're not. Eventually, it all circles back around. I don't care if you don't want me around. That's fine too. You're just like the rest of everybody else. See, the difference is, I don't serve man, I serve God. I'm done serving man. I'm done trying to prove myself to the world, because where is everybody? You have no idea what someone's walked through, what someone's been through. You only know because your life that you claimed is so bad, you know, somebody else has had it worse than you. I know people's had it worse than me. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Someone out there has had a worse life than you. But when you see yourself as what you see yourself as, because someone's not doing what you want, well, whose fault is that? You can't change someone. Don't get with someone thinking you're going to change him. You get with someone because you have feelings and you want to do the right things. Don't get with someone because you want a maid. Don't get with someone because you want someone to pay your bills. Because it's never going to last. It won't. Because you're never satisfied. You won't be satisfied until you have the love of Jesus inside you. You're not going to be satisfied until you have the heavenly spirit of God and Jesus in you. It's the truth. Because when you have love for them above all things, everything else falls into place. I don't worry about what I'm going to eat. I don't worry about what I'm going to do, because I know if I put my trust in Him. I don't plan out tomorrow, because tomorrow might not come. I'm not foolish to spend today and not think tomorrow may not come. I do what I need to get done today, and whatever I have left over, that's fine. You know, there's been many times in my wife and I's time that we wrote checks for things and given money to people and done things when the Lord's telling us to do it. And there was times I was scared, people. Literally, one time in church, I'll never forget this. Tithing was going around, and I folded up the check, and I wasn't going to give it. I was going to get up and go to the restroom and keep the check, because I just got laid off the job that I was in, because that's the one I was telling you about. I had family members even that were coming against me. I had workers there that were supposed to be different in life And that's all I'm going to say. And I found out later on by the horse's mouth, because I don't have no problems going up to an owner, because they all feared her. Matter of fact, some of them would say, oh, you know, it's like, you're dealing with God, you better be careful. What? She's going to do what? Fire me? She has no idea all the stuff I did for her. None. She found out real quick. Because I know, because I had a conversation with her on the phone. She told me flat out what all of them were saying about me. You don't like your job, then don't come to work. Go find something else to do. I'm there to do a job. I was there to take care of them people. That was their home. We got to leave and go somewhere else. Some of these people are going to die in that place. You cared nothing about nothing, because it was just a paycheck. You care nothing about nothing in your life. That's what you're going to get in return. You may be one of them people that's going to sit there at the end and have nothing in your life but yourself. Is it worth it? Only you can make that decision. You know, there's timing for everything. God's here, like I was just saying in the other video. God's here on the earth. The Lord's sitting up on the throne. God's judging this world. He's going to expose everything that's going on. I had a dream, and like I said, some of the videos recorded things and some of them didn't. So I don't know if I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what happens in these dreams, these visions, and in these encounters that I have. I'm able to physically touch stuff, people, and I know many of you won't believe it. But I guarantee it, maybe some of the sinners will, but I know some of the people at church, they believe the Bible about as much as they believe they're going to win the lottery. Some of them actually probably believe they're going to win the lottery because they prayed for it. Are you kidding? If you can't even be good with the little that God gives you, what makes you think He's going to give you more? Stop asking God to do something in your life that you have no idea what you're asking Him for. He's not going to give you more money when you can't even do good with what you have. Because why would He give you something that's going to lead you further away from Him? Millions of dollars? People, I'm not even going to go there. I mean, it's just the concept sometimes. Think about it. Think about what you're asking God to do before you do it. The Lord gave me a teaching. When I pause sometimes, I'm listening. The Lord gave me a teaching. And He wants me to tell you this. You go to work, and they deposit money into your account these days. It's all direct deposits. Hardly ever live checks or anything else anymore. You go to work because you need that money to pay your bills, right? Otherwise, why would we go to work? If everything was handed to us, there would be no need. You could just sit on the couch. Now, hear me out. If you didn't go to work and you put your card and swiped it and it says declined, what does that mean? You have no money in the bank. Now, I want you to look at a card and put this on the front. G-O-D. Now go swipe it. But wait. Before you swipe it, how much time did you give God today in prayer? How much time did you give God today in thanksgiving? That your children are doing the right things. And you have food on the table to feed your children. You got clean water coming out of a spigot. You got a vehicle to drive. You may have 2 vehicles. You may have a 3rd vehicle that you use for a spare if one of your other vehicles go down, that you and your spouse can go to work in. You have a school bus that picks up your kids and drops your kids off. So you don't have to worry about who's going to pick them up or getting a babysitter. I can go on and on. You got clean clothes to put on. You got a cell phone in your hand. You got a headset. You got a microphone. You have whatever. You go buy a Starbucks and you just pull in. Are you thankful to be alive? You should be. You should be thankful to be alive today. That God has spared another day that gives you an opportunity not to go to hell. But we're too selfish to thank God. But you want to keep swiping that until that card don't work. Woo, I just grab my credit card. Now I want you to look at that credit card. And I want you to write Satan on the credit card. Because he's the only one that you're serving. But you want God to do, and God to do, and God to do. God, I promise you. But listen, God, I've been doing this for a week now. Nothing's happening. I don't understand why you want me to do this. I don't understand the purpose of this. Well, I'm not going to do it no more, God. Even though you're not telling me to stop. I want it now, because that's what the devil does. The devil gives it to me now. But you don't have any consequences yet from the devil. When I get in there to start speaking about hell, because I'm not afraid to speak of hell. I'm not afraid to die. But I tell you what, I am afraid to die. I am afraid by being disobedient to God that I may end up in hell. I am afraid of that. Because man can't do nothing to me. You understand this? Man cannot do nothing to me. They may beat me. Big deal, I've been beaten. I have been whipped with belts. I have been smacked with sticks. I have been hit with a toe jack. I have been hit with a baseball bat. I've been spit on. I have had stuff thrown at me before. Man can do nothing. Man can't even take my life. They may try to shoot me. They may shoot me. They may stab me. They may leave me for dead. Only if God says it's right. And I'm going to have to believe that He has a reason for it. That, my friends, is fear. But that is also faith and trust that I know that He's going to protect me. The only thing they can do is send me home quicker. Quicker. That's all they can do. That's all they have the power to do. And God even gives them that power. Then my plan and my purpose and my reasons here is done. I'm still here because God is still using me. Why? Because I'm not afraid to use my voice. Yes, I know YouTube can delete whatever they want. But why? I'm not coming against anybody. Matter of fact, I've spent videos talking about why did we come against calling him Brandon? Why did we come against and said, who are you to call somebody anybody else anyways? Who are you to make fun of anybody anyways? Who are you to think you have the rights to speak bad about someone else? But when you're sick, you want someone to pray for you. You get cancer, you're going to want someone to pray for you. Most of you run to a church. Bunch of hypocrites. Swipe your God card, please. And when God heals you, but instead then you start going to these mega churches. God's going to expose them, people. You fake pastors, God's going to expose you. It's the same as He is going to expose the government. The same as He is going to turn the United Nations upside down. The same as China is going to be flipped upside down. The same as Russia. What do you think all the stuff that's going on over there in Ukraine? You know, there was a famous musician just said he's going back over there because United States made you rich there, didn't it? And if you think we're not funding it, we're giving them money. But what about all the people here? What about all the kids here that are starving? What about all the kids here that get fostered out of foster care and they have nowhere to go and they're getting handed a little bit of money? They end up on the streets and these vultures are snatching these children up and doing bad things and selling them on the streets because they're scared. They have nowhere to go. They turn hated towards people because this is what we do to them. I was that person, and it sucks. It's the worst feeling in the world to have that kind of hate. The worst feeling in the world, because you think you're nothing, you think you're useless, you think you have no purpose, you wonder why you were even born. But I asked many times, why in the world would you even let me be created and be sent here to this rotten planet? Who am I to ask God anything? But when you serve under the devil, you wonder why your life's upside down. You know what's funny? You know, I had a pastor tell me once he wasn't going to let me speak in the church because I was given a message to give to him, and I went up and told him. And the very day we went there we thought we were doing volunteering to help fund something for the church. We found out it was to fund their own needs. Well, his wife was showing us their camper RV thing. I think it was an RV. I don't think it was a pull behind camper. I think it was like an RV type deal. He comes in there pissed off. First of all, I'm volunteering my time, and you're going to talk to people like that, and you're a pastor? Wrong. Exactly what I just told you at the very church that you preach at. Don't do what you're about to do. And you did it anyways. Careful. Because when that veil is torn and your authority is taken back from what God has given you, you may be one of the ones standing out, looking in there. The same as he told me, I need to protect my flock. And I said, from who? Me or you? There was another pastor down in Florida, same situation. I went to another pastor, same situation. I went to another one, and he said, listen, if you want to tell your testimonies and you want to do this, then you go find your own church. Okay. Well, again, I'm not too good with technology, but I'm going to make this stuff work. I'm not going to let the devil defeat me. God will show me how to get this on there, and God's going to send the people that need to hear this. And God is going to touch their lives. I know it. But let me tell you something. President Trump, per se, and I will say that so we know exactly, otherwise we're not going to know which president I'm talking about. The only time I'll use the name. President Trump isn't innocent. You know, President Trump isn't, he's mad. Okay? Maybe God pulled him out because he needed to get his attention. Maybe he also started allowing himself not to be under God anymore. Because a lot of his stuff was I. Well, the Lord gave me a teaching on the I part. If you don't put the am behind it, then you're nothing. Because you can't do nothing by yourself. Without Jesus Christ, we are nothing. The I am, if it's not present, you are serving the devil. Stop saying I did this, I did that. You didn't do nothing. All you do is put the stuff in there. See, The people forget the Constitution. We the people. We forget the dang gone thing. But everybody has a problem with something. A single person cannot, here on this earth, solve the problems that's going on around the world. Only Jesus can do that. Only Jesus. Okay? Not man on earth. Only Jesus. Only someone following Jesus. You know, Peter's shadow healed. The same as the woman that was bleeding. Spent all her money to the doctors and they still could not heal. All she did is touch Jesus' garment and she was healed. Because she had that much faith. That much faith. But yet we believe what we want to believe. We believe a doctor is going to heal us. What if he can't? Somehow people always seem to find Jesus in the deepest parts of their times. But when they're healed, they go right back into doing what they're doing. Sounds like you're going to an ATM that's almost empty. Be careful. Because that's when the devil's coming harder for you. You know, there's going to be a lot of talk coming soon about these shadow people. Beware when you start hearing people talk about shadow people and things are coming out of them. Remember, the devil's going to show you what you are comfortable seeing. He may show you a loved one coming and you think that loved one that's been deceased is coming and talking to you because that's what the devil wants you to see because you're comfortable with it and he knows you're not going to be scared of it. I had a family member say that they wanted to see a deceased person like the other people are seeing. No, you don't. You don't want that headache. You don't want it. I thought, I'm telling you 100%, one of my sisters that passed away, I seen her. My wife was with me. Turned around and smiled. And I froze in my steps. And this was just recently. I froze in my step. I know my sister like I know the back of my hand. Disappeared and all of a sudden we seen her again. And then I seen her over by the milk aisle and I'm looking around for Darlene and I'm like, and I happened to glance back and she did this turn that only she would do and look down at me in this weird way that we used to do a certain thing, and she did something that only I knew that she did. And walked down an aisle and disappeared. Devil's clever, but he ain't that damn clever. Okay? I was given a gift as a young boy growing up. Something that I always thought was a curse. And I'm able to see things that most people watch just scary movies and they think they pay to go to a haunted house. People, you ain't got to pay to go to a dang haunted house. Just walk outside on a Friday night. Go down them dark alleys that you're so fearful of. Because you don't know what lurks down that alley. You don't have to pay for that. The devil's already leading you. Because what you watch, what you look at, becomes your eyes are the inlet to your soul. How can you claim to be of God and watch such stuff? How can you claim to like certain music? Do you ever listen to the words? I'm going to give you a song. Shout at the devil. Pull the lyrics up. Highway to Hell. Oh my goodness, I blasted that music like crazy. You ever hear the phrase, when I die, I'm going nowhere because heaven don't want me, and the devil's afraid I'm going to take over? The devil ain't afraid I'm going to take over. The devil doesn't care. You can't take over hell, because the devil ain't even going to be over hell. The demons that's going to torture you over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Your skin's going to get torn from you and it's going to be restored. When you walk into hell in your current flesh that you are right now, you will not be restored and made into a younger age or whatever God's going to do in heaven. You're going to be the age you are, whatever time you pass away here on earth, that's what you're going to be in hell. And listen to me, because this is true. When I walked into hell after I committed suicide and I know I was legally dead, when I walked into hell, my blood was so, my veins were swelling up, and I literally could see the blood flowing through me like it was going to explode out through my veins. So hot. And I wasn't even in the gates yet. The gates of hell. You know why they're black, people? Because it's so freaking hot. It's turning everything in there. You have no idea. No idea what's awaiting you. None. That's why I got such a big freaking problem with what people say. There's a church in Akron. Irritates me beyond irritation. Come sit by me if you're a drug addiction person. Come sit by me if you're an alcoholic. Come sit by me, and I'm just going to add some things in there. Come sit by me if you're a liar, because your whole church is full of it. Your whole family's full of it. But when I say, hey, what about me? Can I come sit by you? Oh, no. Not you. Because my family falsely accused you before, and I proved you all wrong. Because you want to hear what you want to hear, and I even reached out to the very pastor that stands up at your church. Never responded back, because your family says one thing, and that's the truth. But he's a pastor, isn't he? Isn't he the pastor of the church? Isn't he supposed to be shepherding the sheep? Isn't he supposed to be going out there to deal with the sheep? Instead, he left me to die. Like the rest of you. But let's go up there and clap. Hallelujah. Praise you, Lord. What Lord are you praising? Because I don't want no part of it. Do I have the right to come against it? Yes, I do. Because the Lord says so. Judged by the fruit of what they are. He says very clearly, do as they say and not as they do. The same as he told the Pharisees when the disciples walked with them. So if it's okay for the Lord to say it, it's okay for me to say it. You already hate me. You already talk about me. You already bash me down because you don't want me a part of your life. Because what you represent. Because I'm the voice. I'm John that's crying out in the wilderness, make way for the Lord. Because I don't want the people to be deceived. I don't want the people to be left here on this God-forsaken earth of what's coming. The demons, these night of the living deads, because the Lord showed me, took me down alleyways where people are going to be left here in the end times, and they're eating their own people's flesh alive. Because there's no food for them. Woe to those, he says. Because if you're not able to stand firm now, you're not going to be able to do it then. You understand what I'm saying to you? You're not going to be able to do it then. You're going to surrender and take on the mark of the beast. Because you're going to be so fearful you're not going to be able to eat. You're going to be so fearful that you're not going to be able to buy or work or do anything. A day's worth of wages is just going to be a meal onto your table. Forget about your Starbucks and your Dunkin' Donuts, whatever they bring you, DoorHub and whatever, DoorDash. Because all the devil's doing is getting you used to what he's going to bring your food to you in. Whatever they bring you, that's what you're going to eat. No, you don't get a menu, people. That's too freaking easy. The devil's done giving you the bells and whistles. The smorgasbord. You think they call it devil's weed for a reason? You have no idea what you're talking about, what you're putting in your body. Oh, smoking a little bit of the devil's weed, it keeps me calm. That's what the devil wants you to believe, and that's what you believe. Nothing keeps you calm. What are you going to do one day when you get some lace stuff and it messes you up? I know a good friend of mine, it just happened to him. Gone. All he does now is scream of the terrors that he sees because somebody laced his stuff. And what he sees is truly what he's seeing, but the doctors say it's a hallucination. It's not a hallucination, people. It's truly what he's saying. Because he's now, when acid would get in here, and you're taking them acid, and you're seeing a spiritual realm that you don't understand, and you think it's all because of the drug. Where do you think the drug comes from? What you put in you, it's either going to be good or bad. What you look at, it's either going to be good or bad. God said you break one of the commandments, you break them all. Well, heck, I broke them all. You may say, really? Did you commit adultery? Yep. When my first wife was going around doing all the other stuff that I have thoughts about, well, I could do this and this and this. Did I start having lustful thoughts about someone else? That's adultery, people. I might as well went and did the act. Two wrongs don't make a right now, does it? Did I murder? Yes, I did. I don't have the little teardrops though, right? Not here per se, but here I do. And here I do. Inside here are the teardrops. Because the sword killed. My sword killed people. Because I become so hatred in life. So hatred. I wanted people to hurt. But there's a song by Zach Williams, I believe that's his name, Chainbreaker. If you're listening to this and you're having a problem with depression, or you're having a problem with the world's ways, and you think there's no hope, well, he's a chain breaker. He'll break those chains. And I'm not talking about going to a little fake church